All right. What we can do right quick is I'm going to try to just stay on one topic, and that would be your surname, which is SUR. Okay, this is very important. And since you have not, been conditioned, to really understand the names that we're given, because if you're going, and I'm not going to use any books or try to be, go look, but I can tell you this: in Black's Law Dictionary, the definition of surname is the last name. It's above and beyond the Christian name, which is the first name. So that means that here's the Christian name, and then here's the surname. It's above it. And what that means is, if you go to your scripture, your own scripture, it says that you cannot worship two masters. And what it is this name represents the world. It's a documented name. It's a surname. We're going to go over a few things. But this name means something in a commerce system. It means product. This doesn't. If you take this away, then you're going to see what we're talking about. But when we're looking at, we're just using a name, Christian, okay? And now there's an entity over. You understand? And what this layer represents is very dark, evil shit. So when we're looking at the phrase SUR, okay, which is sir, okay, we have to look at Hebrew letters. We have to look at meaning, because you've been in a system, K through 12. You're given, every child is given the same curriculum. Early in life, they're tested, and then they're separated and put in different groups. And groups are basically Aramonic, you've never heard about. But remember, when we're looking at what we're talking about, it's black magic. Okay? Because first we have to find out how this has happened. How has each family unit turned into a black magic cell that represents chaos for a system designed for that chaos? The more chaotic that a family unit is, or whatever, then the more that there's side effects there's going to be that's going to have to bleed into a system that was already designed in a board meeting with, your businesses and all this other shit. It's impulses is all it is. So what I'm trying to tell you is whenever this thing was set up, this go around, and they document it, and they, create Black's Law Dictionary, which is, it's Saturn's law, but it's also black magic, because it's letters that mean nothing, although letters mean everything. And what we have right here is, I'm going to talk about surname, surcharge, surveillance, surplus. Okay? What we have is that. So if you want to screenshot it and then put it to the side, because what we're going to do is we break down numerology is what you would call it, numbers, because there's names, all these names and letters that we don't take serious. They have power over us, especially the surname. And see, the S in Hebrew, shin, stands, and it's pronounced shin, sin, but it basically, it's for sin. Anybody can say whatever they want to, because I'm going to tell you, R, which is resh, is going to stand for evil. And then U, that's in the middle, is going to come from V, the Hebrew V, Vav, V-A-V, the sixth letter. And they changed that in the 1500s. So the U, which is the 21st letter, the 201 Jesuits that Catherine the Great saved, if you know about that garbage. So the U came from the V, which is pronounced O-O, like within moon. You can Google it, it's in there. But the V represents a vortex, so to speak, with your word. But if we go way back, a V is what's going to be there. I don't have the words to try to tell you what, but the V is more important than anything. So what they've done is the S, like NASA, it has to do with serpent shit. And it really does. It has to do with a bunch of evil shit. And so what they've done is, like when we're looking at creation, okay, these goy that they have hexed with the last documented name in between evil and sin, they have put this letter in there. And if we're going to look at it from like a U, it's going to be like a horseshoe, or it's going to be like, have you seen some old pictures, images of the magnetic field, positive and negative, that's a horseshoe in these door frames. Okay, because then you can Google, there's a book called The Coming Race, and they'll just say it's a conspiracy thing, whatever, but no, it's there. Remember the word conspiracy is a two-part word. It's a piracy of a con. It's black magic. It's a piracy of 33. Because remember, in satanic gematria, con, the phrase con is 137, which is the 33rd prime. And these demons are hidden in these prime numbers and squares and cubes and all that shit. That's why you got Nintendo Cube, GameCube, Nintendo 64. 64 is 8 times 8, or 4 times 4 times 4. So you've got a cube and a square within that. And then you're playing that box, which represents another fucking realm. They're programming these human goy into whatever it is that they want to. Okay, but when we break down the word sir, then we can look into the letter S and the letter R, and then we find out, and I'm not telling you that that's the meaning of you, but that's one of many, because it has to do with black magic. But see, in satanic gematria, Sir, S-U-R, is 163. And 163 is the 38th prime number. If you'll Google Murder by Numbers with Sandra Bullock, on the cover, the B is an E and the 3 is an 8, or whatever it is. On the cover, you'll see it. It'll be 1 through 10, but you'll see 38 there, because 38 is a big number when it comes to blood offerings. And then when you flip 163 around to 361, that's the 19th square. So what we have is when we're looking at just one of the ciphers of satanic gematria, because then you've got Latin, Sumerian, Samarian, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. It's different shit. So what you have is, within the term of the last name, okay, within satanic gematria, which we're talking about, not only that, in Hebrew, you've got shin and resh, which is sin, evil, in between you, spawning, which would be a new era. Adolf and them talked about the dawning of a new era. Barak talked about there's a new day, because it has to do with communism. Like, they're designing it. But you have now within the phrase itself you've got a prime and a square. Okay, in Transformers Optimus Primus, you've got Amazon Prime, the see, if we're going to look at the very top with the words that they have, it's going to be called the they're going to call it the Primo Mobile, which is Mobile, which would be your mobile phones, but it has to do with the fucking very top of what we're in. That's what that has to do with. But you have the term surrounded. We've got them surrounded. And the term sir is even there. And when it comes to fucking black magic, you got to have circles and shit everywhere. And it's the whole thing is. The whole earth is one huge black magic fucking cell. And then within that is everything controlled through these AI impulses, which has to do with major fucking demons from way out there. Surveillance, sir, and then veil, and then ants. It's the surcharge, so, the charge has to do with this. There's a term in Black's Law I'm trying to think. I should have gotten it out. There's a ton more. I'm just trying to give you bits and pieces. Because when the definition of a mark in Black's Law, it says that, when Christians couldn't read or write or whatever. And it's like, what kind of shit is that? See, that's how they depict. That's how you create, when you control these books. It's not that hard. They already know. I mean, look, I'm evil as shit. It doesn't matter who's around. We just created the printing press so we can create sub societies that we control, and we'll give them literature. And then eventually, though, they grow into that literature. So whoever's creating the next printing press is fucking printing, and their ideals are coming from what was influenced through what they had read prior, not from nature and up there. You see, right when that shit was invented, it was spread everywhere. Fucking black magic. Impressing, the printing press, pressing. And then now we're to where we are now in physical form. They destroyed everything, covered it up, waited until Aquarius because of Saturn. That's a huge clock. And now they're slowly, they summoned, which this is a little deeper, but they did. If we're going to look at Scripture, the locust in Scripture, those are these Ahrimanic fucking human faces. Those are the human faces. The locust represents these little Ahrimanic demons that got cast out of heaven, because you're at the end of this. You're at the end of it. As bad as ever. You can't see it, but it's fucking horrible. We've talked about this on how stories about, dragons and shit and archangels, Michael and the dragon battling on the other side in the middle 1800s. Google Disney. The dragon got cast down, which would be the Ahrimanic demons. It's some real shit, because heavy stuff's been going on over there for a long time, like charges, like at the throne, like over and over each age, which is on the wheel of God, which is the zodiacal wheel. And so we're at the end. What's under you, melted and covered up, that you can't see, is what we built. We were that, and that knowledge, that was a whole different kind of a life form that had no corruption in them whatsoever. None. No material, nothing whatsoever. What we had in here was different because it came from up there. It came right out, because as everything split, then it slowly, these fucking demons that haven't evolved with us, they're here. And they're the ones that can't see this for what it is. They're nothing. It doesn't matter. Listen, they can be nice and all that, and it's not them. They start with this generation. You can throw away what everybody's telling you. I mean, they know they're giving you the truth, these truth seekers. But you start, with this generation because you're literally programming the blood into these frequencies of the newspapers, the headline. It starts the day to make you think about materialism. That's black magic. And then from the newspapers to the radio, and from the radio to the TV, you're going to have a few generations there. So you've got this generation that came up with the newspaper, the radio, the TV. So everything in their fucking brain is what? Is materialism. That's what we're saying. All controlled. Every fucking bit of it. Anywhere. And then as each town was designed, because it's not real, little black magic towns, they all grow into this, these impulses that are coming from way out. There should be that town should never existed. You fucking spread, there should be everybody. Nope, we're going to bunch you all up, and they can't see that because they've been around each other for so long that they're no different than the duck you buy from Tractor Supply that's been around chicks. It's a nervous fucking wreck. It carries that nervousness because it's about making money. So they just throw them in there together, and then when you get it, it's got a nerve like mine. That's how I learned. It's nervous because of what it went through when it was very young, and it carries those impressions. So if you can think about the printing press, these fake dictionaries, they're not real. It's all made up. That's the thing is the intellectual brain is Luciferic. And what do they push you to do? Has it been tested? Does he have a certificate? He's licensed. Did he memorize that shit? It's like, you don't never hear, do they have fucking lifetime bloodlines of doing what they're doing? Or are they reading the same book that's in every city, prescribing the same shit, killing people left and right because that's what they're doing? It's fucking crazy. Give it right to them. It's like our shit comes out from out there. It can't hurt you. And they'll tell you that all that's got germs and everything and fucking bad. And yet these fucking places that give them their pills and shit, people are robbing each other for them, dying left and right. It's fucked up. It's like you can literally put it on paper side by side and say, this is your industry. It represents death. Look at ours. It represents knowing who you are and true pure health and so much more. And they just look at you because they can't fucking. It's in there, turning, the wheels turning, saying, "All right, listen some more." But then eventually, all the impulses of their entire life kicks back in, which would be this host. And then when you look at Freemasonry, which would be G, you put it in front of it, ghost. Seriously. Because if you want me to get deep enough, then the teachers are mediums, the doctors are mediums. You not see what I mean? They're just giving the next generation what's given to them, and then giving fake money and position and status. They learn that in school as they get older each grade. It's very easy. It's very easy. But they can't see that, because the generations that grew up poor are going to have a different drive. Like when the money was just getting going and there wasn't a shit ton of restaurants everywhere and hotels and all this, that, and the other. So, what was given out is slowly being getting back, and it's just, I could go on and on about that. But you need to think about it, surveillance. So the veil, okay, there's a veil there. Surrounded. What is it? The members of the round table, I don't know. There's so many of their little fucking dumb group names, it's not even funny. And that's how they talk to each other. Which I know that, and they know that. You don't know how in depth that is, though. That's like the whole thing. What you're given There's no spirit in the letters. There's nothing in the letters and numbers that you learn. Nothing at all. You're just given that to learn. You're taught letters and numbers in order to send mail, pay bills, find addresses, food, and that's it. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. And until you can find out that, all this came from that up there. Before the animals were represented, the zodiacal wheel, like Aries, be a ram, it would have been the brain. That's how Christians and everybody saw it before they stamped it with animals. It was the human anatomy, from Aries down to Pisces, the 2 feet, and the 2 fish. It's real shit. And what's in here is a mirror image of what's up there. Everything. And the whole thing is the veil. You have to identify that, holy shit, like this is deeper than anything that you can't fucking think that far. Like, how serious is this? You will dismiss this just like I have said. You can't tell what you're in when you were born into it. You take the fucking duck to a vet, they'll have a bullshit explanation from a book made up. It's not fucking hard to see how when you damage nervous systems and fuck them up, young and children, by giving them screens and loud music and all this shit and all these substances to where people are just arguing with each other, and eventually they get over, it's going to be fucking nasty here and not too long down the road. A little mean fucking, they talk to y'all nice and rip your head off. And they go to these huge fake demon churches. To where all they fucking do is just, they don't do nothing. All you keep hearing is it's just all image. It's black fucking magic. And those false prophets are promised deity status on the other side, but they never get it. I've told you, the ones that control them, they're not getting out of it. And the ones that control them, they're not getting out of it. No, because the ones that control it all are getting all of them's fucking souls. Every one of them. And they're just as fucked up as the goy are in their world. As the goy are in their world that the motherfuckers up there created in everybody's world. It's their head. And it's all garbage. It's nonsense. It's fucking garbage. It's garbage, garbage, garbage. If you threw us on an island with children, I'd show you within 10 fucking years on how they've done this forever. In 10 years, I'd show you. You can't just see it overnight. It's not fucking hard. And I would have them separated on the island and do all kinds of crazy shit, and you'd be like, holy shit. People don't believe me, but it's like right now, they have raised fucking... There's no telling how many dummies that they've raised on these fake fucking spaceships. Whatever they're like, whatever kind of species of physical form they are, thinking that they're coming to this place called Earth. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be sold, buddy. They are going to sell the fucking shit out of it. That's why they've conditioned all these generations with movies. Without the movies, you would never fucking be influenced to think about it, because it's not real. That's why you're coerced into it. So, I love you.